We're counting down the minutes to the first pitch of today's game.
Yes!
Who's in the starting lineup?
Come on, son. You got to get out there and take the mound. It's game time.
What does the skipper have to say?
It's an attitude. You got to be willing to defend. You got to be willing to base run, or you can't play here.
It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook with Tommy Wortz on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Welcome in to the leadoff show live from Camp Bar, downtown historic 3rd Ward. Charlie back in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Milwaukee Brewers, St. Louis Cardinals today. Game number 1 of a 3-game weekend series. It'll be Quinn Priester on the bump for Milwaukee, going up against Andre Palante of the St. Louis Cardinals. 7:10 first pitch from American Family Field. Game number 148 on the season. Brewers NL Central magic number sitting at 11 still, as the Chicago Cubs continuing to win baseball games. Brewers can clinch a postseason berth tonight, however, with losses by the Reds and Giants if they are victorious over St. Louis today. We've been talking about it for a little bit now. Let's get to it. The starting lineups.
Looking up, and it is gone.
It's almost time for the first pitch. Let's see who's in today's starting lineups. Brought to you by Lakeland University. Experience it your way. Visit lakeland.edu. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Thanks again to Lakeland University for being a part of the leadoff show. Experience it your way, lakeland.edu. First up, the visiting lineup for St. Louis. Brendan Donovan at second base to lead things off. Ivan Herrera, the DH, will bat second. Alec Burleson, the left fielder, will bat third. Wilson Contreras, the first baseman, to bat fourth today. Lars Nootbaar in center field will bat fifth. Mason Wynn, the shortstop, bats sixth. Nolan Gorman at third base, batting seventh today. Jordan Walker in right field will bat eighth. Jimmy Crooks, the catcher, will bat ninth. Jimmy Crooks sounds like a musical artist Drew Wagner would like. If we're going to talk like that, is someone Drew Wagner would listen to. Now, the lineup today for your Milwaukee Brewers. Leading things off in right field, Sal Frelick. Jackson Churio will bat second, play center field. Bryce Terang, the second baseman, will bat third. William Contreras bats fourth today, catches. Christian Yelich, the DH, will bat fifth. Isaac Collins in left field will bat sixth. Jake Bowers at first base bats seventh today. Caleb Durbin at third will bat eighth. Rounding things out, the shortstop, Joey Ortiz. Charlie, we talked about it enough. We hyped it up a little bit. How you feeling about that lineup for the Milwaukee Brewers?
That's pretty awesome. I'm down with it. I didn't think I liked Bryce Terang in the middle of the lineup, but seeing the way that they stacked everybody else around him, I'm pretty excited for it.
Bryce Terang, over his last 37 games, batting .340. He's got 48 hits during that time, 12 home runs, 30 RBI. During this stretch, a .404 on-base percentage, a 1.078 OPS. That sounds like a number 3 hitter to me, Charlie.
Yeah, you kind of have to put him there after hearing all those, just how hot he's been, and consistently hot, too. It's not like this is just spurts. It's happening over the course of this entire month and a half that he's been like this. Each game he's coming in, you got to put him in that number 3 spot at this point.
He's the hot hand for sure. We are out here at Camp Bar in the historic 3rd Ward, thanks to our good friends over at Sun Cruiser Vodka. Baseball calls for Sun Cruiser Vodka iced tea, made with real iced tea and real vodka. It's refreshingly smooth, easy to drink, no bubbles to fill you up. It is the perfect game day sipper. Plus, each Sun Cruiser Vodka is only 100 calories, 4.5% alcohol, making it the perfect drink anywhere your watch party takes you. Crack one open today. Let the good times cruise. Milwaukee, please drink responsibly as well. I am super excited about this Milwaukee Brewers lineup today. I love Terang in the 3 spot. I actually really appreciate Christian Yelich in the 5 spot. Charlie, you remember that argument that when they had Bryce Terang and when they had Sal Frelick specifically batting in that number 5 spot, it was, the number 5 spot leads off more to start an inning, more than any other inning or any other position in the lineup, rather. other than the number 1 spot. Well, now Christian Yelich in that 5 spot, thinking about it as a situational leadoff hitter. Maybe that comes in handy down the road, Charlie, when Christian Yelich is leading off an inning instead of having to be a guy to knock guys in.
I think it 100% does. You look at the guys that are playing below him in Isaac Collins batting 6th, Jake Bauers batting 7th, Caleb Durbin batting 8th, and Joey Ortiz batting 9th. You're also just not getting that much consistent power from that next group of players. And I think having a Christian Yelich to kind of start them off a little bit will help those players feed off of him. I talked about it with William Contreras earlier in the season, how it just felt like when he was able to get into that hot streak, it felt like other players behind him would feed off of him each inning. I think this is something that can happen with Christian Yelich lower in that lineup and not bunching all these top hitters up at the top.
It is the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here with you live from Camp Bar in the historic 3rd Ward. Charlie back in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Lot to get to today. 6:40. Drew Wagner will join us here on the program. Forbes Sports presented by Focus Baseball. Of course, Austin Herdina at 6:20 to get us a nice little parlay for the people. He just throws out bangers. I heard Sparky hyping him up. I got to hype him up now too. It is always like a very good chance on a very good risk reward parlay for Austin Herdina over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. So 6:20 if you want to hear about that, get some action on today's game. But let's rewind just a little bit. We'll talk a little bit about the last game. It didn't go very well for Milwaukee. Started off with a bang, unable to close in Texas. Let's hit it. It's the rewind.
Did you miss the last game? Did you miss what was said after the last game? It's time to rewind. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan.
Freddie Peralta was on the bump for Milwaukee going up against Merrill Kelly of Texas. The Brewers, the road team, and they get to lead things off with the hot hand Bryce Terang, and he started things off with a bang after this swing.
Just didn't go the Brewers' way. Did not feel like a game. They only scored 4 runs as Terang gets into one. Deep right center. Goodbye. That one's not going to find a glove. Bryce Terang starts this one with a bang. Booming home run to deep center field. And it's 1-0 Milwaukee.
Highlights courtesy FanDuel Sports Network Wisconsin. 1-0, just as fast. It was 2-0, courtesy of Jackson Churio.
That's a bomb into left field. Churio gonna send one out of here. Back to back. Terang and Churio with a couple of howitzers. 2-0 Brew Crew.
Very nice from Terang and Churio to kick things off. 2-0 in favor of Milwaukee. Freddie 1-2-3 in the first would make it a clean straight 30 innings scoreless for Freddie Peralta. He was just 2 away from the Brewers' record for the most consecutive scoreless innings. That would be ruined, though, to lead things off in the second inning. That's when Jake Berger hit his first home run of the game. More to come from him later on in this segment as well. 2-1 in favor of Milwaukee, still through 2. In the third inning, that's when the Brewers would surrender the lead because of a fielder's choice from Jock Peterson and a balk call on Freddie Peralta. He speaks about it after the game. We'll get to that sound later on as well. The Brewers then give up another 2-run shot to Jake Berger, double Berger right there, Charlie. That some of those write themselves.
That's awesome.
That's awesome, right? 5-2 after 5. Freddie Peralta's final line looks like this. He goes 5 innings, 6 hits, 5 earned runs, 9 strikeouts, 2 walks for Freddie Peralta 2 days ago. It was nice, however, in the 6th inning to hear some of this after Caleb Durbin recorded a 1-out single. Blake Perkins would pop up to the third baseman. 2 outs, Danny Jansen gets a hit, and then Rhys Hoskins. Welcome back to Milwaukee, my friends.
He does, and he shoots one through for a base hit. In to score is Durbin. Boy, that's got to feel good for Rhys Hoskins. Green light, 3-0, pinch hit, RBI single.
5-3 in favor of Texas. The Brewers were trying to come back. They would not get much after that. Nothing, in fact. The Texas Rangers would get another run to come across because of old friend Rowdy Tellez grounding out to second base in the 8th inning. Final score 6-3 in favor of the Texas Rangers. The Rangers sweep the Brewers. The Brewers' first time being swept since the opening series against the New York Yankees. How far the team has come since that dreadful weekend Milwaukee played. The win goes to Merrill Kelly. Freddie Peralta gets his 6th loss on the season. Phil Maton gets the save, his 4th on the year. It is the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here with you, getting you caught up. All things Brewers. Cardinals had a first pitch today from American Family Field. After the game was over, I hinted at it with Freddie Peralta. He had the balk call. He talks upon that. He talks about his performances as of late and, of course, losing the streak that he was chasing for scoreless innings. Here is Freddie Peralta after the game.
It was the home runs to Jake Berger that were the difference today. What can you tell us about just how you wanted to pitch to him and the execution in those home runs?
I did in both of us. I did what we wanted to do. Both me and Jensen, and just tap the hat to him. The first homer that he hit, it was the pitch that we wanted and where we wanted, and the second one too as well.
How about on the balk, Freddie? Just didn't come set?
It was a little confusion because the hitter was about to ask, like he was asking kind of like for time, and I saw the movements around them, and I thought, I don't know, for some reason I thought that they were calling like the time, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And when I look, it surprised me as well, and I did, but yeah, I did it, and it was tough because I had the man on third, and what it becomes around.
And how did you feel the stuff and the location was today compared to during the scoreless streak?
Today probably better than the other games. It doesn't probably look like that when you look at the score, but probably way better. I had a really hard time today. The umpire was missing a lot of strikes in the sun. I don't know how many, but I know there were more than 7, 8, something like that, or maybe more than that. But it's part of the game. You just move forward. Focus for the next one.
The one on the stolen base, where it was you thought strikeout stolen base, is that the biggest one?
Probably that's the biggest one. All of them matters at the end of the day, but that one makes different as well.
Pretty big picture. It's your 30th start. 3 straight seasons of 30 starts for you.
Today was the 30th?
Today was 30.
Oh, nice. I didn't know.
But that's a goal that you always set for yourself to make every start, and how are you feeling physically, knowing you've got a couple more ahead of you and getting the extra day?
Yeah, that's the goal for us, and for me as a starting pitcher, you want to be able to pitch every day, every 5 days, and at the end of the day, you're gonna see the results. You're gonna see people around probably getting mad when you have a bad outing and all that. At the end of the day, we all want to win, and you see the results at the end when you compare the good games, the bad games, the so-so, and all that. It's part of the game.
We're going to talk about you just moving on. Is that kind of what this team's got to do after a series that kind of didn't go as expected or like you guys wanted?
We won 3 in Pittsburgh and we lost 3 here. We're 3-3. We're just coming back home now, and I know that good things are coming. It's just prepare for that.
Freddie, with 3 starts and whatever's after that left, what do you want to be better at the rest of the year? Where do you want to
for me, being honest, man, I just wanna keep doing what I've been doing and just stay healthy. That's it. And whatever comes, I take.
That is Freddie Peralta speaking to the media after the game. That audio courtesy of Adam McCalvey on Twitter. It is the leadoff show. You're live at the Camp Bar downtown. Historic Third Ward. Charlie back in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Definitely come hang out. Getting a little more busy here. We got free shirts. We got free hats. We got pop sockets, bags, satchels, whatever you call them. I don't know if there's a difference between the two. Freddie Peralta, as you heard, 3rd straight year now of 30 or more starts. Lowest ERA in that time, on pace for another 200 strikeout season. Freddie last year eclipsed 200 on the nose, 210 2 years ago. And it is his lowest opponent's batting average, lowest whip during those last 3 years as well. To get numbers similar to what Freddie Peralta was putting up, got to go back to 2021, in which he made 27 starts, only 144 innings. Freddie already at 163, but that year Freddie had the 2.81 ERA, not as low as the 2.69 he has now, but the opponent's batting average was just 165 back then. Charlie, do you remember Freddie Peralta slinging it like that in 2021?
Not like that, man. That sounds like a different person completely.
I know. I don't remember that at all, but he has obviously been a staple, a part of the Brewers' starting rotation since coming up back in 2018. 159 career starts now for Freddie Peralta, 3 straight years of 30 in a row. Got to give him some credit for that. After the game was over, the manager, Pat Murphy, speaking to the media. Haven't had to talk to him after a sweep in a while. How did he react? Here he is, Pat Murphy.
Again, credit the Texas Rangers, how they're playing. They're on it. You can see their young players. They're fill-in guys that, it reminds me of us in a lot of ways, in terms of they got every big hit. Berger was in AAA earlier in the season, and he hits 2 big homers. We get 11 hits. We don't get the timely 2-out hit very often. Yeah. You can see it happening. Freddie, gives up 2 long balls that, again, we haven't had too many of these. In our, I know in the last 2 years, this is the 3rd time we've been swept, right? Yankees, Phillies, and Yankees on their own, Phillies on the road, Rangers on the road, it stinks. But I don't think there's any team in baseball that over, 300 games has only been swept 3 times. So I'm still proud of our guys. I love our guys. It's not lack of effort, guys. It's not letting down. It's maybe the opposite. We're exhausted and we're beat up, we're injured, and things did not go our way this week. You guys saw it. That has to happen sometimes in baseball. I'm not saying it's luck. I credit the Rangers, but they were better, and they executed at the right times. We just didn't. It wasn't like we were not having good at bats. I mean, Merrill Kelly threw the ball really, really well after the first 3 hitters, and then we had to battle. We got some unfortunate things happen, but it's the way it goes.
The way that you guys started against Merrill, and even just getting 10 hits off of him, did you like the pressure?
Yeah, I mean, there's no question. We were in every game. Just like last year, we got swept by the Phillies. We're in every game, and somehow this is going to help us. I don't know how. It doesn't feel like it right now, but it just feels a little bit snake bit. It feels a little bit like, wait a minute, where's our break? But you make your own breaks. This team has done some incredible things, and but there's only so much you can take. We're also young, and we still make some freshman mistakes. So
there is the manager, Pat Murphy, speaking after the game. That audio courtesy FanDuel Sports Network. He was wrong. He has not been swept, and he didn't get swept by Philly. Remember, the Brewers swept Philly in Philly, and I think then 2 out of 3 they lost at home. But it has been since the very first series of the season against New York, the last time the Brewers lost a series by being swept. They are also looking to avoid their 3rd season-high 4-game losing streak. The team began 0-4 and also had a 4-game losing streak from April 23rd to the 26th. However, the stopper, Quinn Priester, I don't know if that's going to be his nickname from here on out. It's not a great one, but he has won a franchise record 11 consecutive decisions, covering 17 games and 14 starts during that time. He passed Chris Bosio and Cal Aldred, who both did it back in 1992. 17 games in a row in which Quinn Priester has won the game or pitched in the game, and the Brewers have won. You got to go all the way back to May 24th, the last time the Brewers lost a game in which Quinn Priester pitched in. This includes 14 starts, the longest winning streak for any starting pitcher in franchise history. The previous record was 12 straight wins back when Corbin Burns was pitching during his Cy Young campaign. This also marks the longest winning streak in the majors by a team for a starting pitcher since the Dodgers won 16 consecutive games, started by Clayton Kershaw back in 2017. Pretty good company to be in there, Charlie.
Pretty good. Also, I want to point out, he was actually right. He said in the last 2 years, they've only been swept 3 times. And last year, they only got swept once by the Philadelphia Phillies in Philly.
Yeah, I would also like to think that 2 years and just 3 sweeps, like the White Sox are begging for it. Like the Rockies are just begging to have that level of mediocrity, even if it just means winning 1 every 3 days and you still have a terrible record. Like, can we just not get absolutely destroyed every time we go out on the baseball field? That's kind of the goal, at least.
Would be nice.
Would be nice. Would be nice. Coming up in the program, we will have Pat Murphy pregame sound, courtesy of our guy Drew Wagner of Forbes Sports, hooking it up. Talked to the manager earlier today at American Family Field. We haven't had some sound in a while because the crew have been on the road. They finished the 6-game road trip, 3-3. You sweep the Pirates, get swept by the Rangers. So we'll hear that in the next segment as well. Again, Austin Herdina joining us about 25 minutes from now or so from the Potawatomi Sportsbook to get you some of the best bets if you want to get any action on today. Got a little eye on the enemy for you to look ahead at the Brewers versus Andre Palante, and of course Quinn Priester going up against the St. Louis Cardinals. This is a big game as far as Milwaukee in the landscape of postseason play. I did tell you, at least tease it with Steve Sparky Pfeiffer on Wisconsin Sports Daily, that I think I have the postseason roster in my head correctly, and I'm pretty confident that's what it will be. Brewers 89-58. The Cubs won today, so it is actually a 5-game lead. The Brewers need to get the victory to make it 5.5 games. The Brewers also now just a 2-game lead for the National League best record. Philly has not lost in quite some time. They are 87-60, while the Brewers sit at 89-58. The Brewers have been looking to get their 90th win of the season for quite some time now. The team has 90 victories 11 times in franchise history, including 96 back in 2011 and 2018. That's kind of the number they are chasing. It is the leadoff show. We are live from the Camp Bar, downtown, historic 3rd Ward, with our good friends at Sun Cruiser Vodka. Make sure you guys come on down. Seriously, check out all the great stuff we have going on over here. Sparky was here for 3 hours, sounded awesome, looked awesome here. They got shuttles moving around as well, making announcements over the air to let the people know. So you can still get in on the action. It is the leadoff show, live from the Camp Bar, downtown historic 3rd Ward. Charlie back in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Looking up, and it is gone.
It's almost time for the first pitch. Let's see who's in today's starting lineups. Brought to you by Lakeland University. Experience it your way. Visit lakeland.edu. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 1057 FM The Fan.
Welcome back to the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here with you live from Camp Bar, downtown, historic 3rd Ward, Milwaukee. Charlie back in studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Milwaukee Brewers lineup, in case you missed it when we started the program today. Sal Frelick in right field to lead things off. Jackson Churio in center field will bat second. Bryce Terang at second base will bat third. William Contreras is catching today, batting fourth. Christian Yelich, the DH, will bat fifth. Isaac Collins in left field will bat sixth. Jake Bowers bats seventh, plays first base today. Caleb Durbin, the third baseman, will bat eighth. Rounding things out, the shortstop, Joey Ortiz.
Line drive, base hit down the left field line.
Let's see what the skipper has to say heading into today's game. Let's head to the Coach's Corner. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 1057 FM The Fan.
Coach's Corner always give you a sneak peek at what Pat Murphy had to say in pregame today. Before I play it for you guys, he did bring up a point about reshuffling the rotation to give Brandon Woodruff some extra rest. So Woodruff was originally slated to pitch tomorrow for Milwaukee. That is not the case anymore. Jacob Mizorowski will be starting in game number 2. Jose Quintana will pitch in game number 3. Then when the Angels series begins, Freddie Peralta, Woodruff then will start, and Quinn Priester will be after him. Charlie, I can't help but think getting Peralta, Woodruff, Priester, 1, 2, 3 next to each other could be some foreshadowing later on.
I think so. I think that's him setting up the rotation for how he may want to have it set up for the playoffs here. That seems like a pretty strong front three in the going into the playoffs here.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's kind of what I was thinking too. Here is the manager, Pat Murphy, earlier today speaking to the media.
About a little shuffling in the rotation upcoming. Is that
You figure it out, Tom.
get a little rest for Woody?
Brilliant.
You can't get anything past me, huh?
You can't.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Just give him a few extra days. You know, the guy has, come back from a major surgery, and just want to make sure that health is important regardless. We're still trying to win tonight.
Yeah.
Health is important.
What about shuffling the lineup at the top?
Shuffling. Played a lot of cards in my day. Played a lot of cards. Didn't have a shuffler. I did it myself. Shuffle. No, I mean, trying to find ways to best deploy versus the task at hand.
Is it more about one individual guy in the lineup, or is it matchup based?
We were going 1-4-7 with our lefties. That way, anytime you bring in a lefty to face one of our guys, you're only going to get one for sure, right? So you'd have to face 2 righties every time you brought in one lefty. So that's for bullpens with multiple lefty arms in leverage. Now, these guys have 2 lefty arms. One just used at the end of the game, and then one could be now he's activated today. He can be used in the middle. But I wanted to get, when you go 1-4-7, whoever hits 7th, whether it was Terang or Frelick, they don't get that extra AB usually, and they're too good at hitters right now not to give them that extra AB. And sometimes when you force the other team's hand to bring in a reliever, sometimes you're doing yourself a favor in other ways. So I decided to go right, left, and
So it's more a reflection of today's matchup as opposed to something for the future.
but it's not too different than what we started the season with. Just we were doing 1-3-5 then with our lefties, but a different order.
How do you decide at the top there with Sal versus Bryce? Both have done it so much this season. What are the things that stand out about each of them at the top of the card?
I think Sal's at his best. He's been a little bit cold lately, but he's at his best when he's looking to get on base. You know? Sometimes when you're hitting with guys in scoring position all the time, or you're hitting in the middle of the order, you're not as cognizant of it. When you're the leadoff hitter, you realize, hey, to set the tone here, I've got to get on base. And that's kind of what our offense has been built on, is acquiring bases. We've hit with a lot more power lately, so all of a sudden, the Brewers' power surges. Home runs are thrown, and we're capable of hitting them like anyone else that's a big league player, but our game is acquire bases.
Feel like getting JB back in there after the road trip that he had?
Yeah, he's been playing great. Why not play the hot hand?
Spoke to Mears earlier. Sound like he had a pretty good bullpen session. Is that
That's what I
a
heard.
report?
Yeah, I didn't see it myself, but heard that he did.
Is McGill, where's he at with his?
It didn't go as good as we thought, the recovery, so we bounced him back a little bit. He's now going to have a bullpen tomorrow and then a live maybe on the weekend. Well, it's not the perfect news, but it's not anything alarming. It's just he didn't come out of it feeling great. So.
Do you mean a live later this week, like we're at home?
Yeah.
Do you think he could still get by with that and not have a rehab?
Yeah. Certainly do. Starting where we got, man. Don't, because Rosenthal here, don't back off. This guy's a young genius kind of. This kid right here.
Too much credit.
No. How old are you? Yeah.
23.
23.
Pretty young.
You know?
I'm sorry. I've never done this ever before. Jack Stern is 23? Charlie, did you know that?
I did not know that.
Oh,
he's the same age as me.
Goodness, what? Jack is a young genius then. I did not realize that. I mean, I don't mean to throw any shade, but I totally did not know Jack Stern was 23. Okay, sorry. Brewer Fanatic, make sure you guys follow Jack Stern at @JackStern on Twitter if you want to see who we're talking about here. Continue on with Pat Murphy from earlier today.
And what that last road trip is.
So that you're looking ahead or looking behind. Two things I'd rather not do, but go ahead. Love to answer the question.
I'll finish the question. So coming off that road trip, at this point in the schedule, it may be easy to kind of coast to the end or look ahead to October, but what's the message that you've been trying to get these guys as you kind of, I don't want to say wind things down, but
you've come too far. You've come too far to worry about what anybody else is doing or who's next week or the week after. You've come too far by playing win tonight. It's been win tonight every time. Now, are we being very mindful of health? Yes, but it's win tonight. And the reason people didn't predict we were going to be any good, people all predicted we were going to be 500 or under. The reason people predicted that is because we're way better. We've proven we're way better as a team, playing as a team, playing together, acquiring bases, winning the moment, winning the pitch. We're way better like that. We're not built like some of these championship teams are built. And again, I can mention budget if you want to, but that oftentimes indicates superstar players. We're not built like the Phillies. We're not built like the Mets. We're not built even like the Cubs. We're not built like that. We're built with a bunch of guys that want to go out and play with that win tonight attitude. So we can't do anything different. And when we start looking ahead or planning or coasting, we have an uphill battle. We have every team on our schedule can beat us, as has been proven. Look at the Dodgers in the last 2 months. Look at their record in the last 2 months and look at their lineup. You know, will they pull it together? Most likely. You know, that's what history tells us, right? But gosh darn it, you know, we can't afford to look behind and clap for ourselves, and we can't afford to look ahead. We got to win tonight, and I'm being as honest and as true, and not trying to give you the bullshit, whatever you call it, coach speak. I'm telling you, we got to play win tonight. We're not good enough not to do that. That's our shtick. That's who we are.
Obviously, the record shows how well they've responded to that message over the course of the season. How do you think they've responded to it these last maybe 2-3 weeks since y'all have opened up a bigger lead in the division?
No, I mean, I think the guys have been great, man. I think that I couldn't ask for a better group, and I couldn't ask for, I mean, in my mind, they're a success. You know what I mean? What they've done for themselves, where they've put themselves in this position. These are guys that Isaac Collins didn't know he was going to make the team. Who did we acquire at the trade deadline? I mean, who did we sign in the offseason? These are all guys that put it on themselves to step up. Joey Ortiz, you can criticize them all. There ain't anybody playing any better defense than he is. Terang, another step up. Freelick, another step up. Andrew Vaughn out of nowhere. Bowers, that continues to contribute. William Contreras, another. Who has that many solid years in a row? You know what I mean? Yelich, what he's meant to this team, both in the clubhouse and out on the field, the way he plays, the way he, makes it a point to base run a certain way. That's what's made this team from a positions player standpoint. But the pitching staff, we have the most, I think, rookie starts. Do we not, Grumman?
Yeah.
The most rookie starts. You look up the history of baseball and find the teams with the most rookie starts. They're in the position we're in. And that's a credit to those guys in that room. They have been unbelievable. So they're not going to coast, but, they're going to have the last couple of weeks, if you're asking, well, you're 500 in the last couple of weeks. That's part of baseball, man. Look at the Dodgers. They were 23-32 over the last whatever, somebody told me. And, they're a pretty good team, trust me. Nobody's had more injuries, even the Dodgers. Nobody's had more injuries than this team has, pitching staff. And they just keep stepping up. The next guy steps up. And we're looking at Abner, Uribe, and McGill as like mainstays, and Jared Koenig is like people expect they can never have a bad outing. Like, gosh darn it, who are these guys? And it's pretty neat that we're doing what they're doing, and it's because the room has done they've done such a great job in there, kind of looking themselves in the mirror and say, let's do it, boys. I'm just so proud of them.
There is the manager, Pat Murphy, speaking to the media before today's game. It is the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here with you live from Camp Bar, downtown historic 3rd Ward. Charlie back in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Got a little bit of time before we get to Austin Herdina over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Seems like the perfect time to get to our Eye on the Enemy feature.
Nobody likes them.
Craig Counsell returning to American Family Field.
We all want to see them lose.
It's not my job to tell people how to feel about something or even to figure it out. Let people feel how they want to feel. And I'm good with that, and I think it doesn't have to be all positive.
It's time to eye up the enemy for today's game. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Eye on the Enemy, taking a look at how the Brewers have performed against Andre Palente specifically. Looks like a possibility for the Brewers to have some fun today, for sure. A 5.33 ERA for his career in 27 innings pitching against the Milwaukee Brewers. As for the guys in the lineup today going up against Palente, Sal Frelick 1 for 7 in his career. Churio 3 for 4. Terang 4 for 10. Mark it down. Bomb out of Bryce Terang today if he has that success against Palante already. Contreras is 3 for 9 with a homer. Christian Yelich 2 for 10 has taken yard as well. Isaac Collins, Jake Bowers, Caleb Durbin, a combined 0 for 5 in their career against Palante, while Joey Ortiz, 333, 1 for 3. But he's batting 333 against Palante in his career. As for Quinn Priester, on the other side of things, 3 for 6 is Brendan Donovan against Priester. Ivan Herrera, 1 for 2. Alec Burleson's 0 for 3. Wilson Contreras is 1 for 6. Newtbar and Mason Wynn combined 4 for 4, each of them 2 for 2 in their career off Priester. Nolan Gorman, 1 for 4, and Jordan Walker, 1 for 2. No one in the lineup, however, even with some of those numbers, has a home run off Quinn Priester, the ground ball pitcher, doing his thing against St. Louis's lineup today. It's a big game for Milwaukee to get back into the win column. They have lost 3 in a row. As I said, they're trying to avoid losing 4 in a row for the first time since late April. It has been a great run for Milwaukee during this stretch. They are trying to have Quinn Priester make a stop to it. It's his 27th appearance, 22nd start of the year. Priester last pitch on Friday at Pittsburgh, earned a 5-2 victory. That's when Priester went 7 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 6 strikeouts on 96 pitches. The team is 15-6 in games started by Quinn Priester this year. He has 9 quality starts. Opponents hitting a little high, 241 in his career. He is 9-2 with a 2.83 ERA as a starter this year. However, the ERA over 5 in relief for Quinn Priester. It is the leadoff show. We're going to get to our guy Austin Herdina on the other side of this break. He's live at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. He'll get a nice little parlay for the people, go and tell you all the great things you can do over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. And we'll try to get you guys some money if you want to get in the action, place any bets on today's game. It is the leadoff show. We're live from Camp Bar, downtown historic 3rd Ward, Milwaukee. Charlie back in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Let's get the latest on today's odds for the game. What's the best way to go? Let's check in with our expert from the Potawatomi Sportsbook to find out. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Welcome back to the Leadoff Show. Tommy Wortz here with you, live from Camp Bar, historic 3rd Ward, Milwaukee. Charlie back in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Before we get over to Austin Herdina over at Potawatomi, Brewers lineup, in case you missed it earlier in the program, Sal Frelick in right field will lead things off. Jackson Churio, the center fielder, will bat second. Bryce Terang at second base will bat third. William Contreras is catching, batting fourth today. Christian Yelich, the DH, will bat fifth. Isaac Collins in left field will bat sixth. Jake Bowers at first base bats seventh today. Caleb Durbin at third base will bat eighth. Joey Ortiz, the shortstop, rounds things out. He will bat ninth for the Crew. Joining the show now, as he does each and every day, you can find him over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook because he's the manager of the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. Austin Herdina joining us here now. Austin, how are we doing today, my man?
Very good, Tommy. Thanks for having me again.
Oh, of course. I mean, the show's not complete without Austin showing up 40 minutes before first pitch. It might be the best segment on the entire station. It's really the only segment in which our main goal is to expose you to the awesome place that the Potawatomi Sportsbook is and trying to win you money on Brewers baseball. But before we get into a little more Brewers talk, I got to ask, how was it yesterday at the game, Austin? I know you were there, so I can't ask you how the sports book was necessarily. But Lambeau, was it jumping yesterday?
It was awesome. My seats, I'd say about 90% of the game we were standing. Like, the whole crowd was just so into the game. It was awesome. I mean, right from the get-go, we had the lead, never gave it up. Just an overall great experience for Packer fans last night.
Did you wear white, Austin?
Of course.
Of course. All right. How did it look? How did the white out look? Oh, whoa. Now you're walking it back. What's going on? What did you wear whites?
I wore a lighter color.
Okay. That is just like, did you wear a light blue?
Light green. It was
light
a
green. A light green.
For the Packers.
The white of greens you wore. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll hook you up with that. But it looked awesome on TV, of course. Austin Herdina joining us from the Potawatomi Sportsbook, manager over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. You back to work today, though, Austin?
Yeah, back at it today. I heard a lot of good things about last night. People in here were pretty much going nuts about the Packers last night, so just a fun atmosphere here.
Well, how could you not? And good to have you back to help us out with our parlay for the people today, courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Looking at your most popular bets at the Casino and Hotel Sportsbook, Potawatomi. Brewers money line today, minus 195. The minus 1.5 run line will get you plus 117 over at Potawatomi, and the over-under set at 8 today, Austin. What are you looking at from your most popular bets to get a nice little parlay for the people going today, Austin?
All right, so the Brewers are coming back to Milwaukee, right?
Yeah.
We got a series against the Cardinals. We got to win this series. I think it's going to be a series that, we can win 2 out of 3. If we can win all 3, that'd be awesome.
Huge.
Yeah, and I think that just the way things are going right now, like, we need to have that big statement win at home tonight. So I'm liking the Brewers minus 1.5 tonight.
Okay.
So that is priced at plus 117. But you put that in the parlay. I like the over of 8.5. I think we're going to put a lot of runs on the board. And I like Bryce Terang and Isaac Collins to both get hits tonight. So you got Brewers minus 1.5, over 8.5. Collins and Terang each get a hit, plus 525 for the parlay for the people tonight.
Plus 525 for the parlay for the people. I'm getting plus 460 over here. Did I say that right? It was Terang and Collins to get a hit, the over of 8 and the run line of 1.5?
Over 8.5.
Over of 8.5. Okay, I think it moved to 8, like right before I touched it. That's why.
I ain't scared.
That's all right. You ain't scared. All right, nice. That's what you like. Austin Herdina over at Potawatomi Sportsbook, trying to help you guys get some money here. It is Brewers run line minus 1.5. Bryce Terang and Isaac Collins to each record a hit, and the over send at 8.5 today. plus 525, courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Austin, what are other things going on over at Potawatomi the people need to know about? Plug your stuff over there, man.
Yeah, we got a great Brewer game tonight. Come on in for that. And we also have just full slate of baseball. If you're a baseball guy, these Friday nights, a lot of these games happen at the same time. You can watch all of them on our screen at the exact same time. It's awesome. Tomorrow, college football all day long. We got Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford boxing fight tomorrow night. That's going to be huge. We have UFC event tomorrow, UFC Noche. So it's a great night for fights, great night for football and baseball. We have our shuttle yet. We have a lot of people going on the shuttle today. So make sure you're using that because it's such a great experience, such a great deal. All you have to do is place a $5 bet at our sportsbook counter, and you're going to be getting a bracelet that gets you onto the shuttle, and that will get you a ride to the game and back from the game. And it leaves an hour before the game, all the way up till game time. And then on your way back, you have all the way until an hour after the game to get back to Potawatomi. And it leaves right from our sportsbook space, so it's really convenient.
That's awesome to hear. Austin Herdina joining us here on the Leadoff Show. He does each and every day. I'm looking at your betting odds right now over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Canelo Alvarez, Terrence Crawford tomorrow. Canelo, the slight favorite. Crawford at plus 125. You got a lean in that one, Austin, that you're looking at for tomorrow?
You know what? Crawford is the one that I think I want to see win. Canelo Alvarez, though, he fights at a higher weight. Crawford is 15 pounds. He's going into this fight 15 pounds heavier than he has for any of his fights prior, just to match Alvarez's weight. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing for him. I don't know if he's going to lose a little speed or what. So I don't know. I lean towards Alvarez. But it's going to be a great fight. I just hope that it's really entertaining, and even if you're someone that's not interested in placing a bet on it, it's still great space to watch tomorrow night. So come on in, get some food and drink, and just watch the fight.
Yeah, should be a great time indeed. Big fight that's not necessarily between a YouTuber and a celebrity that's 70 years old. It's actually a pro boxing bout that is really needs all the hype it can get. Canelo versus Terrence Crawford tomorrow. Make sure you guys go over to the Potawatomi Sportsbook, watch that fight, because that'll be an awesome event for sure. Austin, thank you so much for jumping on today. Have a good rest of your night, my friend, and of course, go Brewers.
Go Brewers.
There he is, Austin Herdina over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, joining us here on the Leadoff Show as he does each and every day on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. One more time, his parlay for the people today, in which Austin is not scared about. He made to claim during that last segment. Brewers 1.5 on the run line. Terang and Collins to each record a hit, and the over-under set at 8.5. I got plus 510 now, so someone already getting in on the action. It was plus 525, now at plus 510, courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Well, we got to get to our next segment here, taking a look around the minor leagues. It is our Building a Winner feature presented by Ironworkers Local 8.
The key to building a winner in baseball is a strong minor league system. Who are the names we should know? How did they play in their last game? It's time for Building a Winner. Ironworkers Local 8 brings you Building a Winner. Skip the debt. Learn a trade. Apply now at iwl8.org. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Yes, time for another Building a Winner feature presented by Ironworkers Local 8. Thanks again to Ironworkers Local 8 for being a part of the Leadoff Show all season long. We have a rotator of all those intros. That one always gets me the most fired up. That opening guitar right there just makes me think of all your favorite pop punk albums back in the day. Enough music. Let's start things off with AAA.
Nashville Sounds.
Nashville yesterday. Now, these Building a Winner features will be noticeably shorter if you were not keeping up with it. Last week, we saw all of High A ball, and we have now made it through the Dominican Summer League, the Arizona Complex League, and Single A baseball, Low A and High A during this time. So just two teams to report on. The Nashville Sounds yesterday won 6-4 over the Gwinnett Stripers. That is the Atlanta Braves affiliate at the AAA level. The big news from yesterday was Eric Haas walk-off homer, 2-run shot, old friend. I kind of miss him. I'm not going to lie. Danny Jansen, I hope the best for you. But I don't know what Eric Haas did wrong, to be honest. He went 1 for 4 with that walk-off 2-run homer to give the Nashville Sounds the 6-4 victory. Daz Cameron, 1 for 3, had an RBI in the contest. Tyler Black was 2 for 4 with a double and 2 RBI as well. Black currently actually has an 8-game on-base streak going. He's batting .320 with a .450 on-base percentage in that time. Has 4 doubles, 6 walks, and .932 OPS. Freddie Zamora, got to give him some love too. He went 3 for 3 with a double and a homer, 2 runs scored, had a solo shot that would ultimately bring that around. Pitching today for Nashville, it will be Tucker Davidson going up against Lucas Brown of the Gwinnett Stripers. That is game number 4 of 6 in that series. Let's get to Double-A now.
Biloxi Shuckers.
Biloxi lost 7-6 to the Birmingham Barons, Chicago White Sox Double-A affiliate. And Blake Burke, guys, if you don't know what Blake Burke is doing in Double-A, first of all, you haven't been paying attention for a couple of weeks now because this guy is on a completely different planet. 3 for 4 yesterday. He's now up to 311 in his time with the Shuckers, a .974 OPS for Blake Burke. On top of it, yesterday he hit another homer. The guy had 3 hits, including that solo home run in the game yesterday. He leads the organization in hits in the minor league, 142 hits this season for Burke. He leads the team as well in RBI. He has 79 of those, an .835 OPS, also the top in the farm. What a monster season Blake Burke is having, continuing to be elevated through the system. A 12-game on-base streak, .326 batting average in that time. It is the second best mark in the Southern League in that 12-game stretch with his 1.081 OPS. On top of that, Luis Lara, 1 for 4, had a homer. Xavier Warren, 1 for 4 with a triple. Jesus Mate, who was called up last week by the Shuckers, he went hitless, 0 for 4 in the game with Biloxi. Brock Wilkin picked up a hit, drew a couple of walks in the game. Really, the Shuckers are exciting, and they're going to be playing some postseason baseball down the stretch starting next week, too. I can't wait to keep an eye on what the Biloxi Shuckers continue to do in the minor league season. This Building a Winner feature presented by Iron Workers Local 8, building Milwaukee's future one beam at a time. It is the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here with you live from the 1250 AM 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We're out here at Camp Bar in the historic 3rd Ward of downtown Milwaukee. We are here because of our good friends over at Sun Cruiser Vodka. We are almost out of stuff. We got some Sun Cruiser shirts left and like a stress ball with our logo so clearly pasted on it. Can't you tell right there? Yeah, Sun Cruiser Vodka. Baseball calls for Sun Cruiser Vodka iced tea, made with real iced tea and real vodka. It's refreshingly smooth and easy to drink with no bubbles to fill you up. It is the perfect game day sipper. Plus, each Sun Cruiser is only 100 calories, 4.5% alcohol, making it perfect for anywhere your watch party takes you. Crack one open today and let the good times cruise, Milwaukee. Please drink responsibly. I'm looking right now. Sun Cruiser, they have the iced tea variety pack here, right? In the variety pack, it looks like it comes with a black cherry. There's like a lemon, a peach going around too. All tasty flavors. I'm going to have to get one after this show here. Can't wait to have some Sun Cruisers. I believe they're doing $5 specials up until the first pitch. So about a half hour until we get to that point here. We still have Drew Wagner to jump on the program from Forbes Sports. He's going to join us in the next segment here. We'll talk to him a little bit about that series in Texas, but mostly focus on this current series as Pat Murphy would want us to do. He hates living in the past. He wants to look forward, and by forward, he wants to look at the future of today. So Drew Wagner, Forbes Sports, joining us here on the Leadoff Show. On the other side, it is the Leadoff Show. We're live from Camp Bar, downtown historic 3rd Ward, Milwaukee. Charlie back in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Looking up, and it is gone. It's almost time for the first pitch. Let's see who's in today's starting lineups. Brought to you by Lakeland University. Experience it your way. Visit lakeland.edu. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 1057 FM, The Fan.
Welcome back to the Leadoff Show. Tommy Wortz here with you, getting you caught up all things Brewers Cardinals at a first pitch. 7:05 today. We are live at Camp Bar, downtown historic 3rd Ward. Make sure you guys come say hi. Come grab a drink. We still got some time here before the end of the show. Before we get over to Drew Wagner of Forbes Sports, Brewers lineup, in case you missed it, one last time today. Sal Frelick in right field to lead things off. Jackson Churio in center field will bat second. Bryce Terang, the second baseman, will bat third. William Contreras is the catcher, batting fourth today. Christian Yelich, the DH, will bat fifth. Isaac Collins in left field will bat sixth. Jake Bowers at first base bats seventh today. Caleb Durbin at third base will bat eighth, rounding things out. The shortstop, Joey Ortiz.
What's the latest on the crew? Let's go inside the clubhouse with Drew Wagner of Forbes Sports on the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 1057 FM, The Fan. Inside the clubhouse is brought to you by Focus Baseball. Join their fall mini camps at focusbaseball.com.
Joining the show now, as he does each and every day, you can follow his work at Forbes Sports. Follow him on Twitter at @Andrew Wagner on the Fan Guest Hotline. It is Drew Wagner here on the Leadoff Show. Uncle Drew, how are we today, my friend?
I'm jealous. I'd like to be at Camp Bar in the Third Ward right now.
Drew, did you know Jack Stern was 23 years old before you figured that out with Pat Murphy today?
I did.
Wow.
I
mean,
did.
good for him, man.
So listen, my glove that I use for softball is older than Jack Stern.
It's crazy, man. I mean, I love listening. I love reading what Jack Stern writes. I always think he asks really great questions. He's obviously very into the analytics part of baseball. And Pat Murphy calling him the boy super young genius today and asking him his age. I had no idea he was 23. So I'm even more impressed with everything Jack Stern has been doing. So tell him you impressed Tommy, even more so if you see him for me today. Drew Wagner joining us here on the Leadoff Show. Drew, we were texting beforehand when we got insight on this lineup today that this might be one of your most favorite lineups of the year. I was wondering if you care to go in depth on why you like this lineup so much today, Drew.
I just do. And we talked about this, I think it was last week when Terang got moved into the 3 spot. I really like him in that position. He has the right combination of on base plus damage for that spot. And he's really consistent, which is what you want out of that spot. And I like Yelich in the 5 spot just because he's one of your best power threats. You've got to be extra careful with Contreras ahead of him. And also with Collins behind him, like this is not a lineup you can easily pitch around. And the Brewers are like that in general, just by the way they approach things at the plate. But this is a really, really good lineup. 1 through 9, there's the ability to do some damage there.
Well, and Drew, you brought up Yelich in the 5 spot for his power, but you remember how Murphy was talking about the lead off the inning, the number 5 spot more than anywhere else. Like Christian Yelich, remember after coming back from injury, when he was in that leadoff spot, had a little less pressure on him. He did excel in that spot too, Drew.
Yeah, he's a veteran in every facet of the game. He knows what his job is at the plate, and he can hit in any spot and do so well. You're right, though, that second leadoff hitter take a little bit of the pressure off when you're leading off an inning. And when all you have to do is just get on base, which is also the reason they put Frelick back in that 1 spot, because he's really good at consistently focusing on getting on base.
And Drew, they have to throw him strikes when you're leading off an inning too, and I love it when Christian Yelich gets thrown strikes too.
Exactly, because again, home runs are thrown; they're not hit. They are thrown, and you give Christian Yelich more strikes, the more chances you have to show some real power there. So if he's coming up with guys on, it's a chance to, move some guys, drive some guys in, put some runs on the board. If he's leading off an inning, it's a great way to get started because he knows what he's doing up there.
Drew Wagner, Forbes Sports, joining us here on the Leadoff Show. Make sure you follow him on Twitter @AndrewWagner. Drew, let's touch just a little bit on the series in Texas. Kind of a stinker, kind of crappy from the Brewers. Felt like there was a lot of things going against them during that series, but also they did get outplayed for the most part, maybe by Michael Hellman more than anyone else. But that was a series. Now, the Brewers have only been swept twice in the last year, this past season, and 3 times in the last 2 years, I believe. That is something that we always talk about, Drew, how when they get into these moments of they lose 3 or 4 straight games, they've found ways to break that. And who better on the mound than the guy who's won, I believe, 17 appearances is the number I just said in a row, Quinn Priester, Drew.
Yeah, he's about as steady as it gets. We talked about this early in the year with Chad Patrick. The moment has never seemed too big for him. He just goes out there and does his job, and Priester is very much the same. He's soft-spoken. He's not very demonstrative. He's very business-like out there. He just goes out there, gets the ball, waits for the sign, throws it as close to possible as where they're trying to throw it, and then moves on from there. The impressive thing to me about Quinn Priester is he never seems to get rattled when he gets into trouble. He's had some, bad sequences there, some bad moments, but he works out of trouble more often than not. And when he does, it almost looks effortless.
And Drew, is there something to be said too that the offense just gets up for him, right? I look at Chad Patrick, and it's just really the offense never was on the same page. It felt like every time he was on the mound. He has numbers a little bit better than Jose Quintana when you dive into him, but his record completely opposite. That's not the case with Priester. He has the good numbers, and the offense seems to be there with him every time. Drew, I want to ask you again about the Brewers and this series with St. Louis. They had the stinker against the Texas Rangers. Now you get the 3-game series where you're back at home. How important is it to get a groove going this weekend after the rest of the National League is starting to get hot at the right time, it feels like, specifically Philadelphia? But hey, the Cubs only 5 games back now, at 5.5 if you get the victory, 4.5 with the loss today.
Yeah, it's kind of crunch time for these guys, and I think they know that. It's not like they were coasting the last couple of weeks. It's not like they were overly bad the last couple of weeks. They had to deal with a lot of stuff, dealing with injuries, dealing with exhaustion, dealing with the schedule, dealing with a lot of things. But you had a day off. You're coming home now for 6 games with 2 off days there, with an off day in it, against 2 teams that you should be able to handle pretty well. You hope they ride some of that home cooking. You hope that maybe they get the right atmosphere and start to get on a tear again, because now's the time you got to, kind of get back on the brakes again, or get back on the gas again, and finally put this thing away so you really can focus on just getting healthy.
Drew, I had to step away for a second when we were playing your pregame sound. Thank you so much for sending that over, as you do each and every day. But I did see a couple of sneak peeks on an update for Trevor McGill. What was the update on his process and how he's planning to come back now, Drew?
Yeah, his last throwing session went well. Unfortunately, his recovery hasn't gone as well as expected. It's not anything to be overly concerned about. He's still on track to return without a rehab start. They are going to pitch him, have him throw a bullpen session in the next couple days, and then hopefully next Friday have him throw to live hitters again. So it's a small setback. A little bit of his precautionary. You don't want to take any chances with rushing a guy, especially when you have someone to cover him, because he's going to be a key piece to this bullpen in October. So it's a small setback, but not earth-shattering.
No, it doesn't sound too bad. But, Drew, I am nervous that usually the team who is playing the hottest in September rides that into October to some sort of run, right? We saw it with the Diamondbacks 2 years ago. We saw it with the Mets last season, both of them playing the Brewers in the postseason. Do the Brewers still have time to generate that sort of hot streak in them right now with, less than 20 games left into the season? Like, can they still build some momentum heading into postseason play?
Yeah, I think so. And like I said, it starts this week. The schedule is in your favor for the next week. Actually the next week and a half, because after this homestand, they go to St. Louis. So your next 9 games are going to be against teams that are fairly deep in the standings. Now, obviously, they're still major league teams. They're still hungry. They still want to knock off the big boys. But these are teams that the Brewers should have success against and have had success against. So I think this is the time to get back on one of those heaters. No one's expecting them to win 11 in a row, 14 in a row, but just win series from here on out, and you're going to lock this thing up.
Drew, the pushing back of Brandon Woodruff in the rotation, I'm not necessarily concerned about that to get him any rest, but I did bring it up to Charlie earlier in the program. Getting the rotation ready with Peralta, Woodruff, Priester seems like there could be some foreshadowing into maybe October on how they would like things to walk around with the pitching rotation in a postseason series. Does that give you that inkling as well, or do you think it is a priority of just getting Woodruff healthy and some extra rest too?
I think it's a priority of getting Woodruff some rest, because listen, keep in mind the fact that, we can sit here and we look at how the guys line up in the rotation here on out. We have the schedule for the playoffs. So we can all do the math. But the thing that we failed to mention is when you get the bye, you're getting 3, 4, 5 days off before the series starts. So that gives you time to completely reset your rotation. And add in the fact that there's a day off in between game 1 and game 2, and between game 2 and game 3 in the NLDS. They can afford to do some creative things with their starting rotation and not have to tinker with it, over the final couple weeks of the regular season.
Drew Wagner, Forbes Sports, joining us here on the Leadoff Show. Make sure you follow him by Andrew Wagner on Twitter. Drew, thank you so much for jumping on today. Have a good rest of your day, my friend. We will do this again tomorrow.
Yeah, go have a Schlitz for me before you leave.
Oh, of course. I got you. I'm gonna hang around for a little bit here, see what's going on over at Camp Bar. Drew, I still have a standing date with you, so we got to figure that out. Okay.
We'll tie one on soon.
All right. Awesome. Drew Wagner joining the show on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law Offices. One call. That's all. Man, Drew is just such a great dude. How did he not tell us, Charlie, that Jack Stern is 23 years old? I feel a little bit betrayed by that.
I also feel like everybody that's kind of in our line of work, even if we are younger, we are old souls.
Yeah,
I think that's a good
Stern.
way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah, Jack Stern, a very old soul. Like, you should hear the Seinfeld references they go back and forth with all the time.
Okay,
I had
he's not
Steve
23
Sparky.
if he's doing Seinfeld references, dude. That's
Right?
crazy.
That's what I'm saying, man. I don't know Seinfeld like that. And Jack Stern all over it. I had Sparky text me an hour ago, and I haven't gotten to read it. But he said, ha, 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 Jack Stern is 23, ? Exclamation point. I said, I had no idea. Good for him. And he said, for sure. So everyone impressed with you, Jack Stern. This might be the most we have talked about Jack Stern on the radio, but he's a great dude. Make sure you check out his stuff at Brewer Fanatic as well. Leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. One more thing to get to before we get out of here. It is today's keys to the game.
How does the crew win today's game? Who needs to step up? Let's find out with the keys to the game. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Keys to the game, how we always close things out here on the Leadoff Show. There is actually a programming announcement to tell you we will not have a Leadoff Show tomorrow because of the Notre Dame football game. So still tune in to the Fan. Listen to Notre Dame as they will take on Texas A&M tomorrow during the Brewer game at the same time. You listen to the game of Notre Dame and Texas A&M, and then watch your favorite baseball team, the Milwaukee Brewers, during that stretch too. Keys to the game. I'm pointing at Quinn Priester. It is Quinn Priester's job to put a halt to the Brewers' woes right now. Usually, Milwaukee, you put up 4 runs in the game, everything's gravy. It went well. It didn't really work all over the weekend either. They are still 75-15 when they get to that 4-run marker. The last time Quinn Priester gave up 4 runs in a game, you got to go back to August 10th. He's had a good start to September, that is, when he had the 7-inning performance against Pittsburgh. August was fine for sure, too. He was 1-0 with a 3.33 ERA. I'm looking for June, Quinn Priester, right? I'm looking for 4-0 with that 1.88, just everything working. That tonight, more of what you did last week against the Pittsburgh Pirates. You need to get a stop. Do not lose 4 in a row right now. The Cubs won again. You don't need to get it under 5 games, no matter how bad Charlie might want that to happen. I am hoping that the Brewers put a halt on that, and we are pointing at Quinn Priester immediately. 6 innings minimum out of him. I would like a quality start from Quinn Priester. That is today's key to the game. That's going to do it for us here at The Fan. Make sure you guys are checking out all your favorite local programming here on The Fan. We are going to be back on Sunday with another leadoff show as the Brewers will wrap things up with the St. Louis Cardinals during that stretch. Charlie, thank you so much for helping out again today as well. Always a good job, my man. I appreciate you more than you even know, boss man.
Anytime. I got you, Tommy.
It is the leadoff show live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Come say hi at Camp Bar, historic 3rd Ward. Charlie back in the studios, back powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. And don't forget, send them home.